Day
Bracey.
It's good with you, man. Look at you with the box, man. I didn't even know you grow hair yet, man.
Yeah, bro.
Who fucking grow hair and decides not to do it? Like that's. I feel like you've been cosplaying bald this whole time. I thought we were like kins. I thought we were like brothers of the cloth. And here we are. I find you out here fronting. These English dudes, man. So you can't trust these Brits, man. All right, hold on. I'll be back. Let me grab something to drink. So this is my birthday collab. We did for my birthday up in March. My niece designed the label and whatnot. It's a whole thing. It's a stout with mead, coffee, and vanilla. The honey is black owned. The coffee is black owned. The label is a black woman on the label. And it's called Nom de Guerre because Dave Bracey is my war name.
I love it.
By the way, I feel like that's the theme of the show today.
They saw that hairline, so all you was fronting. They was like, "Nah, man."
Listen, I like it because now he finally at least a little gray shows up in his head. So
he loves that shit.
Yeah, I'm sure the ladies love it. What I'm saying. I mean, it's just a trap. I can't believe you ain't had this hair this whole time. And it's nice hair too. This is crazy, man. Like, you know what I mean, you've been cosplaying, like.
Nick, you gonna play the open? I mean,
are you ready? Should we do this thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, promotional products and design. They cover your brand bumper to bumper with graphic design, promo products, and print. See what Dire Oil Graphics can build for you at direoil.com. That's DYEROIL.com.
We are.
Ooh, Jack.
Yes, shout out to our boy Jonathan in Las Vegas. Welcome to Beers with Nigel. It's a show about beer
and other stuff,
other things, or whatever you want to call it. Look, welcome back to the fucking show. Dave Bracey, Barrel and Flow. What up, Dave?
What's good with y'all peoples, man? It's been a little while.
Bro,
a year.
Bro, your year. You're the last 365 fucking days.
Last time we saw you was spring in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And since then, I feel like you and the Barrel and Flow brand have been around the world.
Oh, that's exactly what
we have. It's been pretty nice, man. I didn't know this beer shit was going to take me across the world, but I ain't mad at it.
No.
So let's back up a little bit because you're in Kansas City. You had the Kansas City experience and you did all the things. Tell people what it was like to come to KC. It was for the movie and all the other things, but personally, you'd never been, and most of the folks who came had never been. What was that like for you?
So first and foremost, y'all got niggas pulling up to the clubs in horseback. That was a whole and it was wild because me and Ed was we got out the Uber and it was just 3 niggas on a horse just chilling there with the let out the club that street that Vine Street is on. Is it Vine Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. The club was popping. It was all the ladies. Everybody was bumping and whatnot. It was just he was just on a horse, just chilling it was regular. You know what I mean? And I pull up. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. So I go, yo, can I take a picture? And they looked at me like I was the weird one. You ain't never seen a nigga on a horse before? No. Actually. But yeah, no, man, it was love. You know what? I feel like it was like a Pittsburgh with a Midwest vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of blue collar town. It's got a rich history, a rich jazz history, because we in Pittsburgh also have a nice rich jazz history ourselves from the hilltop. And the food is so much better. I mean, that's why. I mean, it's blacker there in Pittsburgh, so much more. So you get the food and the culture that comes along with it. But it was all love. You know what I mean? I definitely felt, like a superstar and whatnot, getting catered around, you know what I mean, throughout the week. The food was amazing, the music was amazing, the vibes, that showing and that historic theater and whatnot. I mean, it was great. I got a Jackie Robinson jersey. from the Negro League Museum and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was just, it was so much love. You know, and reasonably priced. You go to a lot of the cities, and you know, every time I get a bill, if I'm in LA or Atlanta, every time I get a bill, I'm like shocked, like, oh shit, I gotta like hurry home and make some more money. You know what I mean? But like, you know, KC was relatively, you know what I mean, inexpensive. Yeah, man, it was cool. I mean, you can't get an Uber in that bitch. That's a whole nother thing in and of itself. You call an Uber and they're just like, yeah, I don't feel like it. Like, but outside of that, man, it was an amazing experience. You know, we hung out with Bulletproof Katie and whatnot. You know, hit up a strip club. You know what I mean? Like, it was a nice round experience, and I got to see both Kansas City and Kansas City, which was nice. Because you know, I was in Kansas City, and they was like, "Nah, this ain't Kansas," and I was like, "Okay." Then I went to Kansas City, and it's like, "Nah, this ain't Missouri." And it was very confusing. It was very y'all are very particular about your Kansases, your Kansas.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Very territorial.
Very much so.
Much so.
I still get people who because you know, we kicked it in Lee Summit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You talked to Day, you know, you left your mark in KC, bro. I'm gonna give you that. You got motherfuckers asking about. I'm like, yeah, I talked to that motherfucker. What the?
Yeah, no, love out there.
For the people that were here and saw that event happen, even Nick and I look at each other. We're like, we were dumb as shit to pull that off, but we did it. And I don't know if you saw the folks that did the labels for the cans. They won an award for that shit.
Yeah, we got what was it?
The Crushies
for a cause.
Yeah, so they had a category
event for a cause from the Craft Beer Marketing Awards.
Yeah, so they won an award. They're gonna get this dope ass trophy.
I don't know why he keeps saying they. That's a we.
I mean, heard. Calm down. Yeah, my bad. What in the world? Yes, indeed.
Yeah, no, congratulations on that. We actually, the first collaboration I'm aware of, won an award, the Great American Beer Festival or whatever. The collaboration with Conzo and Conzo out of Atlanta and Late Edition up here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They made a smoked, like a Roush beer.
Ooh.
And that one, I want to say it was either silver or gold at the GABF competition and whatnot. So shout out to those guys. You know what I mean, doing the thing and like, you know, bringing some. It helps to bring some, you know, bring some validity to what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, because you know what we do is important, and it is some of the best stuff in the world. And that was the thing that, you know, when I went out to Barcelona and whatnot, like I was very proud because the beers that we had out there, they weren't just, you know, it was all black folks, and we were the only U.S. representation, which was important in a time of, you know, Trump. But like the beer that we had there was like just as good and better than the beers that were, you know, across the world. You know what I mean? 30 some countries that were represented there and whatnot. So, you know, very, very proud of that. I mean, and very proud of the fact that nobody sent a hazy IPA across seas. I was a little worried. Like, I mean, folks, and it's wild because they're big on hazies out there now. Like that's their thing. And they're, you know what I mean? And I was surprised to see as many out there. And people kept coming up to the booth like, "Hey, you got any hazy IPAs?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, we're not really." We ain't sending that across.
Yeah, let's rewind a little bit. And
how'd that come about?
What was this trip to Spain?
How did it even come about?
So a couple of years ago, was it right after the 23 Fest? Barcelona called and was like, "Hey, you know, love what you guys are doing out there. Would love to have y'all, you know, come out and represent, you know, American beer out here, you know, U.S. beer out here, you know, in Barcelona." And I thought they were scammers, to be honest. I was like, "Oof." Like, all right, you want my social security number too, huh? Like, you know what I mean? But, you know, I got them on a Zoom, and, you know, they were like, how do you say, and I was like, oh shit, y'all like real, like Spaniards out here. Like, right. So, the first year we tried coordinating folks, and I didn't realize, one, I didn't know why they even came to us. You know what I mean? Like, for this, I often wonder why anybody asked me to do any fucking thing. You know what I mean, but I was like, but like, I was like, all right, cool. Let me hit up the folks and see if we can get it done. And I realized exactly like how difficult it is to, one, procure craft beer, like, you know what I mean? And I had learned that to some degree when I worked with Tavor and with this festival in general. But, I really realized like the state of the industry and the fact that, we were looking to bring, like up to 7 breweries out to Barcelona. And we were like, hey, so Barcelona paid for the beer and they paid for the shipping out to from a centralized port out to Barcelona. So I had to like find the brewers and then get them to ship beer all to a central location.
Damn.
And I realized how like hard it was to procure beer from black-owned breweries. There's not a lot of them in the country, right? Less than 100 of them. And then, of those breweries, I would say 50 or less are brick and mortar, right? A lot of them are contract brews, this, that, and the other, whatever. So, a lot of these folks just didn't have product like sitting around. That's just craft beer in general. They just don't have product sitting around that you can pick up. They brew enough to sell and they keep it pushing. So like it was hard to find, breweries that, one, had enough extra product, and then two, had enough money and like, resources to ship the beer to the central location. You know what I mean? Because again, a lot of these breweries are starting up and every dollar counts. You know what I mean? So this is a promotional thing for them, right? Like, even though the beer is being bought and shipped by Barcelona and whatnot, they still had to, one, produce enough beer to, to ship out there, and then two, pay for that shipping and whatnot. So that was far more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it ended up falling through the first year. But they hit us up again last year and was like, hey, let's try it again. So, I had more time. I had already put some bugs in people's ears. So we ran it back, and we were able to get 5 breweries. We got 2 locals out of Philly. We got Lady Lager with Rhythm Brewing out of not Connecticut. It is Connecticut.
Yes,
It's
Connecticut.
New Haven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got Cajun Fire, John out of New Orleans. We got Dope Cider out of Youngstown, and we had Soul Mega out of DC. So they were able to, to get all that together. And then me, Hannah, and Elliot from Soul Mega ended up going out there and, pouring the beer and representing. Me and Elliot did a couple of talks while we were there. And it was wild because, before we got out there, we got hit up. I got hit up by some folks in Barcelona. These Black business owners in Barcelona was like, hey, we know about the fest. We heard about it. We're interested in doing collaborations and whatnot. Would love to like welcome you and, show you around like Barcelona and whatnot, which was like fucking bananas that people in Barcelona had heard about us and were like, waiting for us to come out and shit like that. I mean, so, we did, we had a great time, great food and whatnot. Shout out to Love City, out of Philadelphia, right? Because they were the central shipping point. So they were able to take all the beer in. I mean, you're talking about like, maybe like 24 kegs of beer and whatnot. So you got to have the extra space available for that.
Yeah.
And then they have to also like prepare the shipment to be picked up and whatnot. You know what I mean? So, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of effort on everybody involved. But, I think it was very worthwhile. And like I said, when we were out there, there's 30 plus countries represented at this festival. And, the only United States representation was us. You know what I mean? And it was all Black, and it was amazing. And the faces on people, like the faces people made when they tasted the beer, like, oh, or like the cider, and was just like, they were surprised. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, and they made it. And they're like, what? Like, you know what I mean? It was definitely a point of pride, and made a lot of different connections. I wish I would have went out there last year because a lot of more of those connections would have came into fruition. But Trump is, with these tariffs and whatnot, there was so many people that are like, yo, I want to do business with the United States. But I mean, like, did you see the tariffs, like 250% on China at the time and shit like that? So everybody was kind of like scared, not only of, like the various tariffs and whatnot, but also like how you going to be treated if you come here. You know what I mean? And like, that's another thing that I'm kind of worried about. We get a fairly decent amount of international travelers that come out to this festival. I don't know what that's going to look like this year. And I can't in good conscience, like, encourage folks to come out here. Shit, I wasn't even sure I was going to get back in my damn self. You know what I mean? So yeah, but like I said, all in all, it was a great experience. It was nice to see how folks do brew festivals over there. Like, they don't do just like buy a cup and then drink what you want. It's like you get a ticket and you get a band that has like $20 on it, and then once that runs out, you got to like put more on it and whatnot. So it kind of limits it kind of limits the ability to discover new things, right? Like, somebody coming in who is like not really into beer or, don't know much about it or whatever. Like, you're only going to go to things that sound like something you like or whatever, as opposed to just, like having it and like, I don't like this, and just dumping it and, spitting it out or whatever. Like, once you buy that glass, you're committed to it. But like I said, it was nice to see how folks lived over there. And you know what? I love the folks out there at Barcelona, and whatnot, but it really did make me feel like, we're running the best brew festival in the world. So shout out to everybody that, makes that happen.
I'm interested. I wonder, the folks who, discovered Barrel and Flow and the beers that you guys brought. Obviously, some people would be like, "Oh, we need to go." I'd be curious to see how many people, come this year just because they saw you in Barcelona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, even if they don't come this year, I think it was really important. A lot of the conversations that we had were about America and the state of it, and even like Black folks in America. Like, what I found is that, like, people kept coming to me and like, so they're very cold. So let me just be very clear. Europe don't like Black people, right? It's just what it is. And Barcelona, Spain, they don't like Black people. They don't like foreigners. They don't like Americans, right? So I had a triple whammy going for me. And it was hard outside of the brew festival. Brew festival was mad love, but outside the brew festival in large, Barcelona, and I went out to Ibiza and Formentera while I was out there and whatnot. Outside the brew festival and the people that I knew, I didn't talk to anybody. The whole time was people don't like, engage in conversation. Yeah. If you try to engage them, they're like, fuck you and your American accent. Like, and it's wild because every time I got into an Uber or went into a club, it was rap music on. Like, and I was like, that's us. Like, well, like, that's us. Like, but they love the culture. They don't like us so much. So I think it was very important to go out there and just, represent one, America, and at this time where they're trying to silence us as much as they are. But then also to have those conversations, because people were like, so how do you feel about Trump? And I'm like, fuck you mean? How do I feel about Trump? Like, like, but like, they don't know that, like, Black folks they don't know the Black struggle out there. Right. Like, like I was surprised at how few folks understood that, like, Black folks are not Republicans. That we're not with this fascist bullshit. The fact of the matter is that, like, when the world was looking at, like, when the world is looking at these Republican presidents that come in, I don't think they understand how important the Black vote is to the world in general. Like, we're not just staving off, fascism for America. We're staving off fascism for the world. So like, but the world doesn't know that. Like, the world just thinks that we're all in on it. They don't understand, So it was wild to me to realize that when people look at me as an American, they look at me as a Trump supporter.
Right.
And, having those conversations was very important. And they, and the need for this festival, right? Because I'm like, yo, we're a Black brew festival, and they were like, well, why does that matter? And not in the racist white way where they're like, well, why does it ever got to be about race? Blah, 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 blah. They were just like, I mean,
Curious.
there's a black problem there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't realize that we're still basically slaves over here. You know what I mean? So, like, it was wild to have those conversations and kind of like open people's eyes up to the issues that we have here in Americans, in America, for black folks. You know what I mean? So, whether or not they buy a ticket, I think those conversations are very necessary. And I also made connections with folks who are like very interested in having us out there to other events like Bangladesh, and London, and Belgium, and like, these different like countries that were in there for the fest, and they were like, well, shit, if you're here, why not come here? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's what I'm hoping to do, in the future is expand the festival and the knowledge and the understanding of the African American culture. Like, they be listening to us. Yeah, I mean, like the African American culture is the #1 export in America next to guns, right? Like, and I mean, and if it wasn't for African American culture, we wouldn't, like, American culture wouldn't be as popular. You know what I mean? Like, you look at McDonald's, da 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 da, like, that's Pusha T. That's a Pusha T jingle. You know what I mean? Like, you look at rock and roll, you look at jazz, you look at blues, like, you look at all these forms of American music that dominate. Like, and I've traveled the world, and everywhere I go, I was in Japan, and the hotel we stayed in had a different, like, every floor you came on had a different rapper, like, picture on the floor and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, they fucking love our culture, but they have no idea about
What's
like,
going on.
how, like, what's going on or our plight or anything, involved with that. So, I'm very excited. Hopefully this festival allows us to kind of like, help to get that message out there as well.
Yeah.
Does that like that trip to Spain specifically, but all your other travels too, does it change or affect? You've been telling the Barrel and Flow story for what, 6 years, 7 years now. I mean, does it change how you kind of tell that story and the reason, just because you're hearing other perspectives?
To some degree. I mean, I think my story changes just because, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I get sick of fucking talking about it. Like, and it's weird because when you talk about something for so long, you start to like forget that people haven't heard it before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes I just be like, yeah, da 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 da, and people be like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh wait, I got to start from the beginning. Like, let me take you back to 2018. Like, you know what I mean? And like, this whole thing or whatever. But Barcelona was the first. I mean, I guess you could count Canada. You know what I mean? When we went up there and whatnot. But Barcelona was the first time I went out of the country for Barrel and Flow.
Right.
So when I'm in other countries, I typically don't talk about Barrel and Flow because I don't want to talk about work. I mean, I'm off. But the perspectives from different countries or whatever, it does change my narrative, and it has, like, stories I tell because when we first started this, we thought we were doing something special for Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? We were like, man, this is a great thing for Pittsburgh, right? There's not a lot of like black, there's no black owned breweries here, and like da, and like Pittsburgh is statistically like the oldest, whitest city, major city in America, and and we were like, yeah, we need this. It's the worst place for small business ownership, So like, I was going around saying like, yeah, we're the best festival in Pittsburgh, and this is a great thing for Pittsburgh. But then, like, people started coming in, and people from day one were coming in from all over the place, all over the world. And, the second year, 2019, we were setting up, and this Indian family was, like, eating or whatever. And I was like, hey, can we help you? Like, They were like, oh, no, we're going to finish up and we'll get to work. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, we traveled in from India to volunteer for this festival. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, and, it dawned on me, from then, and then, once I started to travel after the pandemic, because we did 2018, 2019, pandemic came through, and then I didn't really start traveling again until 2022. So everything that we had been doing up in that point, that first 4 years, I was under the impression that we were doing something very special for Pittsburgh. But once I started traveling the country and traveling the world and just seeing, like, the ways in which, events are put together, and, the vibes that you get when you're there, and the attention to detail, and like the various things that make Barrel and Flow what it is in the community and whatnot, I realized that it's not just special for Pittsburgh, and it's not even just special for America. I think it's a special event for the world, right? And that's why we do get people like, yeah, I mean, from Australia and Guam and the Netherlands and India to like, fly into this festival because there's nothing like it in the world. And I can confidently say that, right? And it's not even just like, and not just all the love and the vibes and the connection to the supply chain that we do with the collaborations, this and the other, or whatever. But, we, I lost my point. But, I think,
Gone.
yeah, I think so. So I think, I mean, but also, again, to go back to the Barcelona Beer Festival or whatever, there's no other event that I've been to where you're going to get all this art, music, food, conferencing, like, brunch, all this or whatever. And you get unlimited pours of like some of the finest alcohol that you'll have on the planet. That's brewed specifically for this festival, right? You're either going to a beer festival or you're going to a festival, an arts festival. But I haven't been to an event yet where you're going to go and have 4 art stages, 2 music stages, like 30 food trucks, 30 goods and service vendors, right? Like all of that. And you're getting unlimited pours, and you're not getting unlimited pours of some shit that you can find on the shelf. You're getting like some shit that you either get it here or you might not ever have it again. Right.
Oh, and when you, and a cigar bar.
And a cigar bar,
cigar bar in a trailer.
I mean, we got glass blowing and shit. We got live brewing on site and whatnot. And like, and when you go to those booths, you're not just going to some, conglomerate that's like da 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 or whatever. You're going to small businesses, and when you're drinking those beers and whatnot, you're either talking to a unicorn, which is a black-owned brewery, or you're talking to 2 people who came together that oftentimes have never met before this collaboration that came together, and they're very excited about what they did and how, and to talk to you and whatnot, right? So, I mean, I think that, like I said, traveling has given me a lot of perspective of, one, how to better implement various like things into the festival, like, learning globally and applying locally is something that, we're always doing. But then also, how rare what we do actually is. And that's why so few people like, I mean, I talk to people all the time who are like, yeah, we love it. Yeah. I mean, like, and like, so you talk to somebody that hasn't been to it. And I'm sure y'all have had this experience to some degree. You talk to people who haven't been to it and they're like, it's a festival. I've been to festivals before. Like, why are you so excited about it?
Haven't been to this one.
Yeah.
And then they come, and then afterwards they're like, yo, I'm bringing everybody I know to this thing, right? Like, it feels like a cult sometimes. Like the transition that I get from people. And then when I hear people talk about it, they're like, oh yeah, I went to that. They were like, I was talking to this couple of weeks ago, and they were like, yeah, we didn't know what it was. We were walking up to the gate. We're looking at the ticket price, $75, and we're like, what is that? Is it going to be worth it? Right. You know what I mean? And then they were like, by the 4th booth, we were fine. You know what I mean? It had already paid for itself. Right. So, like, and that's it, but like, that's the difficulty in trailblazing, is that being the first one means that you have to educate literally everyone else on it. You know what I mean? All the fucking time. You know what I mean? So, it's a gift and a curse in that, but that's what my travels have given me, that perspective.
Hey, Nick.
I think that's a great sign, though, or signal, I guess, of what it is. Because we just had that last year, Nigel, when we took a KC crew up there. That same thing of like, yeah, okay, we'll go with you. It'll be fun.
And I'm sorry, Chicago. We had more people than y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all did.
Chicago might have had more brewers.
It's between y'all and Atlanta, like, came up deep, yeah.
There's a crew coming again.
Nick, I'm out of beer. Give me a beer, please. God damn it.
Oh, are we time?
Yeah, it's mystery beer time. Shout out to Bree Burrows, who owner of, she was part of Barrel and Flow last year. Her and Lady Lager did a beer.
That's right.
Okay.
But she's moving to Denver, Colorado. So we need to try to get her on the show before she leaves.
We did have one last.
Yeah. So he's going out there to move on in the beer community. What you got there?
You ready
Nick?
for this one?
Yeah.
We got Galaxy Stardust Moon Rocket. Black on black type. And I'm old.
If I can't read it, here we are.
Double New England IPA. It's brewed and canned in.
Is that Discourse?
Oh, it is. It's Discourse Brewing.
So
right here.
shout out to Discourse. I hadn't been there in a while since we did the podcast, Nick. And I went over there. These motherfuckers are smashing beers. It's insane how good the beers are.
Yeah, it's a great
So
place.
shout out to Matt and Amanda from Discourse Brewing. So can you pour me up, sir?
Empty your glass.
I know. Dave, you excited for this year coming up?
I'm excited for it to be over.
Well, you always say that.
No, I mean honestly though, man, this is the first year that this is the first year that I am excited about it. I hated this festival up until about last year. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of dumpster fires. I wasn't making any decent money off of it, but people enjoyed it. It served the need, this, that, and the other, or whatever. But it was I'm a perfectionist, right? So it was just always like people were like, "Oh man, I love it," and I was like, "Man, it could be better. It could be better." Like, yeah, I mean, like, nah, it just ain't right. I'm glad you liked it, but like, I was always pouring over like all the shit that went wrong with it, right? Like, we did that, we could have did this, that, and the other, da da da. But last year, it was like no notes. Like it ran smoothly.
Yeah.
Like it was our third time in the same venue. The first 4 or 5 years of this festival, we were in new venues every year.
Right.
And we had to go through a pandemic. We had to like switch over to a fucking digital festival, right? Like the amount of work that it takes to like basically reinvent a festival of this size every year is absolutely fucking insane, man. And I was running ragged, and we finally found a venue that we could stay at. And this was last year was our third year in that venue.
Yeah.
And as a producer, I've been producing for, since 2013. And I tell people all the time, give me 3 times. Like, I mean, and I don't book things with anybody, like any venues, this, that, and the other. Like, if you want an ongoing show and this, that, and the other, you got to give me 3 times. Because if not, then it's not worth it. The first time, it's going to be whatever it is. And typically, you're going to get people that's newer to come out. It's going to be this, that, and the other. Second time is when, you start to like work out the kinks. I mean, there might be a little bit of a dip like from the first time or whatever. And the third time is supposed to be when like it is what it is. That's what's going to be. And then you can decide then whether or not you're going to keep moving forward or, pull back. And last year was our third year, and it was everything that I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
From a production standpoint.
Yeah.
So, with that, like, all our systems are in place, and like, so like with that,
there we go.
I've been drinking. With that, this year I've been able to expand upon it. So like, and that's where like I get excited now, because I'm not just doing the same thing over and over again. Everybody goes, "Oh man, it gets bigger and better every year." Da 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 da. And like, to some degree, yeah, that is true, and we do this, that, and the other. But again, from the very core perspective, it was very much like 3-day weekend. We have these events, and how do we dial it in and make it what it's supposed to be? This year, we get to expand, and that's what I get to be creative again, right? So I'm very excited about this year. Like, we expanded. So I produced a collab vinyl. So what we did was we got 10 musicians to come together, and I hit them up and I was like, "Hey, love what you're doing. Da 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 da. Would you want to like do a new song with this person?" And I like sent them their information, and they were like, "Yeah, that sounds cool." So I paired up these 10 artists to do 5 collaboration songs, all original music. They had about a month to come up with a new song, and then pay for the studio time. They went in, they did, had all the instruments, everything they needed to do to live record in that studio, mixing, mastering, the whole 9. And then we pressed them onto 500 vinyls. The vinyls are like this cool ass splatter. I just got the picture today. I put it online. This cool ass splatter vinyl. These different colors. Got Juliandra Jones to do the cover art. It's fucking gorgeous. And there's going to be no digital echoes, no downloads, no streams. So like, you can only hear these songs on that vinyl, right? Because you can't stream Basquiat, right? Like what we're doing with this is creating art.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, and a lot of these artists, they don't have physical copies of their media, right? I mean, they don't have tapes, they don't have CDs. It all lives digitally. I mean, so like creating a physical form of media and to create something that like commemorates what we are as a festival. And like every year we've tried to like, emphasize a different aspect of the festival, the beer, the food, the live art, this year it's the music, right? Year 5. So we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be selling those at the festival, and there's gonna be 50 limited edition vinyls that are gonna be amber, and they're gonna have hop leaves sprinkled into them.
Okay.
And like we're gonna Willy Wonka those motherfuckers. They're just gonna be like, if like golden ticket. If you get it, you get it, right? You're not gonna know until you pull it out. And we're gonna sell these for $25. At Barrel and Flow 5, right? Now the cost of these vinyls and the true value of them are closer to about $40.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be in line with the festival and the tenements of the festival of accessibility, right? And that's the beauty of this festival, is that you get all this music and art and food and this, that, and the other, or whatever, but you can still get into this festival for $50, if you get your tickets in the first like 2 months, right? That we put them on sale. And even at the door, you're getting 4 hours for $75. The every other festival that I know, they start their tickets at like $70.
Yeah.
And you're not getting all the food, all the music, all the everything that comes with it, right? So accessibility has always been, key to what we do. And I'm very excited to be able to like put that vinyl together. And I'm very excited about the music. Like, I paired these folks up. I didn't even meet half of them yet. I just like, they applied to the festival. I heard their music. I put them together. And I paid them. All the artists get paid. Everybody's getting paid, and whatnot. But like they could have given me dog shit. They were like, well, what's the theme? And I was like, the theme is just doing something new for somebody that you haven't done, done it before with. And the songs are fucking amazing. They're very like, there's a wide variety. We've got like rock and hip hop and, metal, and some Caribbean on there. There's women on every track, like the themes and the lyrics are just amazing. Right. So, you're going to be able to get this, and it's a 12-inch one-sided vinyl. The cover is gorgeous. The sleeve is gorgeous. The vinyl is gorgeous, right? It's all this artwork. Then you put it on and whatnot. It's $25, right? And that's I'm very excited about that, because I think that's one going to, promote a lot of these artists that are, we have great artists here in Pittsburgh. I also think it's going to like, promote the festival very well, to say, hey, this is the type of things that we're doing, and really create these new bridges with these like different artists that, we've got like these, rap artists that work with country artists, that are on there, and like, building these bridges and being like, hey, look at what happens when you like look outside your, your clique or your, your everyday, thing, and like, try something new with somebody else. What happens when you go outside your comfort zone?
Yeah.
And like, that's the, that's the festival in general. The festival is all about like getting people outside their comfort zone and bringing them in to create something that's, better than what they could do by themselves. So, very excited about that.
Yeah. The amount of connects we've gotten over the years from Barrel and Flow.
Yeah.
It's, like one of my favorite over the years when I discovered fucking Nashville.
So they're the first. They opened up the album. They're the first song on the album, man. Nashville.
Dude,
yeah.
That dude. Yeah. It's a. If we counted the amount of people,
this is really, we really have a Barrel and Flow podcast. Let's be honest.
Because we talk about it every podcast. There's not a time. I'm telling people about it because, we're going to do this thing. I'm saying, well, I asked you, I can't do that on August 9th. I'm sorry. I'm be what the fuck? I had a guy yesterday, and he's been the last time I kicked it with him, I took him to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. I told him about Barrel and Flow. He ain't never heard of it. He's like, I'm going with y'all. I'm like, come on, bro.
Wow.
Let's go. No, that motherfuckers in Kansas City, they know now. they know the vibe. We're kind of Pied Pipers, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think
Yeah,
it's.
I mean, shit,
I
y'all,
don't
like
think
I
it's
said,
exaggerated.
y'all definitely, yeah, I mean, y'all definitely Pied Piper motherfuckers in last year. So, I mean, it was wild. I kept like turning around. They're like, yeah, we're from Kansas City. I was like, what? And what might be a point of pride for y'all this year is that we got 2 Kansas City bands on the festival this year. So, there's a band, there's 2. I don't know the names right now because I'm drunk, but, one of them is Kemet's band,
Yeah.
Marcus. That big band that Kemet,
Is it his
like, I
brass and
mean,
blues?
like,
Yeah, probably the back.
yeah,
Brass
Big
and
Brass
Bougie?
and Bougie and whatnot. Yeah, they're headlining the festival this year.
What?
I mean,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, talk about
dang it.
Kansas City pride. You know what I'm
Kemet
saying?
he don't need any more shit like that. His head
Yeah.
is already too damn big. That motherfucker went to Ireland and shit. You know what I'm saying? He was having like a Dave Bracey year.
Is
Yeah,
that what we're calling it
man.
now?
A Dave Bracey
Dave
year.
Bracey year? All right.
Bro, because hey, think about it. The last year, I mean, the Barcelona thing was just one thing that you did. You were at some conferences and shit. As people flying you out. I mean, you've had quite the year, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Emmy nominated now, so there's that. You know what I
There we
mean?
go.
Like, yeah. I mean, I got around. I got to see Vegas for the first time. You know, I got to throw the first pitch out at the Pirates game. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
I'm surprised they ain't try to recruit me as terrible as they is. You know
Well,
what
look,
I
I
mean?
appreciated them coming to Kansas City and being bad.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right?
Right,
We're
like,
like the league's ugly friend. You know what I mean? We're just there to make everybody else look good, you know?
so with all that shit going on, have you been able to do any comedy at all?
We actually did, me and Ed did first night. So our New Year's celebration here in Pittsburgh, New Year's Eve celebration and whatnot, we were able to bring on, it was me, him, Brittany, Alexis, a black woman, very funny. It was an all black comedy show, right downtown at the Bayou Theater, which is a very historic theater. And yeah, I mean, I want to say it was my 4th time performing for first night and whatnot. But you know, it's always an honor to be the comedy show, like for somebody, I mean, to reach out and say, hey, we want you to represent comedy here in Pittsburgh for, you know, everybody, you know, around and whatnot. So, yeah, that was my last time on stage in an official capacity outside of Barcelona. Like I said, I went out to Barcelona. I got to talk. Me and Elliot were, you know, doing some beer tastings and talking about some things and whatnot. And I got to, you know, just kind of like, you know, joke around a bit. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, I don't get to do comedy nearly as much as I used to, because I mean, art doesn't pay well, and that's why I'm so adamant about paying our artists so well. And I've always been adamant about that even before the festival, and that's kind of what led into the festival. Before the festival, I was putting on comedy shows. I was bringing in music. You know, I was bringing in like a band to open up. You know, I was bringing in comics from all across the country, and then I was bringing in, you know, booze. I mean, like the breweries, like the craft breweries or whatever, to come out and pour and, you know, be ingratiated with these crowds and whatnot. And we were doing them in these theaters, right, that were not typically having comedy shows and things of that nature or whatever. So like that cross promotion between all of those different entities really like blew up, you know, like my career and our brand. And we were able to pay people really well, which allowed us to, you know, to book, you know, the best talent that was available and whatnot. You know, I ran the Pittsburgh Comedy Festival. We, you know, brought in Kamau Bell and Audrey Plaza and Todd Glass and, like, you know, worked with all these different folks. You know what I mean? Like, so I've always been adamant about paying people properly because nobody else really does. You know what I mean? And, you know, I got into a point in my career where, you know, even before, you know, the pandemic and, you know, shortly afterwards, where like, you know, most of the shows that I was on, I was booking myself, you know what I mean? And I was doing like, I was hosting them, you know what I mean? And like the shows that I was doing comedy on, like for the most part, weren't even comedy shows. They were like benefit shows and like emceeing, like, you know, a TV thing or like like, because corporations pay that money. You know what I mean? They see your following, they see what you're doing, they're going to give up the dollars for that. They got corporate dollars or whatever. But like, you know, in that same vein, you know, some venue down the street is gonna be like, yo, I got $50, like, you know, for 30 minutes. It's like, have you seen gas prices, fam? You know, so yeah, I mean, I don't get to do comedy as much because that's my passion and it doesn't make as much money. But I also am not as, I feel as if I'm not as fulfilled as when I was on stage. I was much broker when I was on stage, you know, 4 or 5 nights a week. But like, you know, I was happier. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because I wasn't producing and having to worry about literally thousands of people
Right.
and how like their experience was going to be and this, that, and the other, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I really didn't give a fuck. Like I got paid to not give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like that's the exact opposite of what the fuck I'm doing now. Like, you know what I mean? You know, Joan Rivers said, if you get 2% of the people to like you, you'll sell out Madison Square Garden. Right. So, you know, I like when I was on stage, I was like, if people wasn't into it, as long as I had like, if I saw like 2 or 3 people in the crowd that was into that shit,
Right.
man, we had the time of our lives, man. And like, and that's, you know, because you lose people when you try to go for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that for me, that has been the strength of my career is that I've been authentically myself, and I've built a following, you know, organically and slowly, you know, over the course of, you know, over a decade now, versus trying to be like, you know, a viral sensation that's like,
Right.
you know, trying to please everybody and whatnot. So, you know, I do miss those days where, you know, I can get on stage in front of, you know, 1,000 people and just be myself and just like shut the whole thing down and be like, yeah, you know what I mean? There's no drug like that. You know what I mean? I've tried them. There's just not.
Yes, indeed. Well, tell people when Barrel and Flow is. Let's talk about this year's event.
So Barrel and Flow is always the second Saturday in August. That's the birth of hip hop. And August 9th this year, we got a whole week of events. We got the record release that Sunday. We have a welcome party on Wednesday. And these are events that are happening that I know of now. I'm sure there's going to be more pop up. But that Wednesday, we got the welcoming party, Crafted for Action down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming up. They're actually running our conference this year and whatnot. But they're going to do a welcome party with Vellum. They're going to release their Peach Kush Kolsch collaboration. And then Thursday night, these folks out of Philly hit me up and was like, yo, we've been doing this thing called Ditch Day, which is a which is adult day party.
Yeah.
So from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. is going to be like this banger at Vellum Fermentations. And Vellum has like arcade games and like pickleball and like booze and like, I mean, they're going to have DJs and like art. It's going to be super dope. So it's going to be a like nice little like day party, Ditch Day. Right. And then that night, and that's another thing when I talk about like expansion.
Yeah.
We're going to have the Barrel and Float.
Yeah. I'm on a boat.
So
I'm on a boat.
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to be on a boat, and it was wild because Aubrey from down in Florida,
Henny Ninja.
yeah, I mean, he hit me up and was like, you know, what was it? It was after 23. And he was like, you know what, brother? You got all these rhythms out here and whatnot. You know what you need to do? You need to get on a boat. And I mean, and call it Barrel and Float. And I was like, damn, you spitting, old head.
Hear his voice when you tell that story.
Yeah. I was like, oh, damn, you spitting. Like, you know what I mean? But at the time, I'm too busy trying to like dial it in and trying to like, I mean, I don't have time for expansion and all that, whatever. But last year I was on a boat. I was actually on the Gateway Clipper, and like I was looking out and I was on shrooms and shit. So I was like, man, this is fucking gorgeous, man. Like how beautiful the city has gotten over the last, you know, like 10, 20 years. And I was like, it would be super cool if people who have never seen Pittsburgh from the rivers got to have that experience. Yeah. And it is a beautiful experience. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's when I set out to be like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do Barrel and Float. And I was kind of nervous because that fucking boat is expensive, man. You know what I mean? And all the booze and this, that, and the other, whatever, because it's all you could drink. So it's an open bar, and it's going to be curated by Barrel and Flow. So we got a collab from Crafted for Action out of Atlanta and Vellum Fermentations with their Peach Kush Kolsch. We got Wendy Bridges Brewing and Ultra Genius is coming in with a soursop ale, which I also want to say Wendy Bridges will be, by the time Barrel and Flow comes around, Wendy Bridges will be the first Black-owned brewery in Pittsburgh fully operational by the time Barrel and Flow comes around. So shout out to Marcus Wyatt.
Breaking
Shout out to
news.
Marcus Wyatt. The first in Pittsburgh, the second in the state, next to two locals out in Philadelphia. So shout out to Marcus Wyatt, for bringing that together. And he's going to be on the boat. We got Dope Cider, War Cloud. We got TLC Libations.
Is that book gonna make it back to the dock?
Yeah, I mean, we got Rhythm Brewing. You know what I mean? So like it's all, you know what I mean? So it's an open bar. And we got DJ Big Phil and Nashville for DJing, and then Nashville is gonna headline that boat ride or whatever. So it'll be 7 to 10. And that's gonna be bananas, right? So I'm very excited about that because that's the first event that I've ever produced outside of the Friday through Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So that's gonna be cool. And then, like I said, we got the conference. Crafted for Action is running that conference. So we got a lot of cool activations. We got like some lunchtime trivia. We got like, you can make wine at the conference. You know what I mean? Take it home and like, you'll have your own wine in a couple of weeks and whatnot. We've got some really cool speakers that are coming in for that. And then Friday night, the bottle share.
Yeah.
And this year, the bottle share is hosted by Goose Island. And I don't know if y'all remember those bottle shares. The first like 4 years of bottle share, it was nothing but like 19% barrel aged stouts. It was just, niggas was wrecked by like 30 minutes into that shit, man. Like, and I was like, yo, I had to tell people, I was like, listen, man, bring something other than a stout. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had to say that. And then that's what they did. Like 2022 was that first year that like we had the tables and it was just like all the like, it was all these different like brews on there and whatever. So, we've definitely got a lot of different brews that are coming into this festival now for the bottle share, but it started with 19% barrel aged stouts. And I'm very proud to have Goose Island there because they invented the barrel aged stout. So, to have them come in and like bring some of their special like reserves, I'm very excited about that. They're doing a collaboration with Black Calder. So last year they were talking about, cause I don't know if you know Sam, Brewer Sam, but he's been brewing over there for a few years and he's been trying to bring Goose Island on for years now. And last year they finally were like, all right, man, let's see what this is about.
Right.
But it was a little too late. They came on around the summertime. It was like, for me, I'm not all about the money. I'm all about like the quality of the experience.
Yeah.
So, if you coming in too late and you're just trying to like break this, that, and the other, like, nah, fam, like, you gotta wait. So, they, in August of last year, they, brewed with Black Calder and barrel aged a beer.
Oh shit.
And, it's been barrel aging for the last year.
Oh,
and they're going to bring that out they're going to bring that out to pour at the festival and whatnot. So, Goose Island with the bottle share. And then, the festival is going to be absolutely bonkers. We've got all kind of things happening in there. The after party, over at Millvale with, Burgers Brewing. And then the brunch, excited to have that brunch, happening. So, there's a lot for everybody, there,
A lot.
and there will be more that's added. So anybody that's listening, that's like, wanting to keep up to date with what's happening, barrelandflow.com/events. You go to that little tab, the events page or whatever, and we're updating that as much as we can. And you'll see all the events and there'll be links, to get tickets or, some of them are free. But yeah, man, I'm very excited, cause this is the year that like, I got to like get back into my creative bag.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely bringing some newbies. Nick can't make it, but
I was feeling okay about missing it this year, and now I'm sad.
Yeah, now
I'm sad again.
Now he's sad because what's going to happen. I'm gonna get there. Where's Nick? Nick.
Oh yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, no, I still can't go anywhere without somebody be like, "Where's Ed?" I'm like, that man has a whole family. Like, Like we don't just be hanging out.
10 kids.
Yeah, like I mean, like we don't just be hanging out at the hip. Like yeah, I
That's
mean,
what they
like,
think, though.
yeah, like I just got him in my pocket somewhere. Like he's in my trunk.
It's your pocket.
Yeah, I
Ed.
mean. Oh wait, speaking of Ed, like
That's
I am going to require regular updates.
I'll regular update you.
And that Black Calder Goose Island collab. That's got to come back.
I know you slow playing that beer. I'm out of beer.
Oh,
Should we get another mystery beer, please? I don't know what's going on. He's off his game. we got a Dave. We got a guest over here, but he's half asleep. Wake up, Mike. he's sitting under the AC vent, just partaking in mystery beers. So this is a funny name beer. First of all, you got to see the label. Hold on, look at that label. It's a brother.
Nice.
It's the. Hold on. Let's get it on Berry White.
Oh, nice. Who brewed that?
This is from.
That's some beer karma.
Yeah, it's beer karma. True Vale Brewing Company. I have no idea. I can't read that for small, but that's print.
Nigel's glasses are under the table there, Mike.
There's a whole box up.
we
Yo,
get
man.
glasses in the studio.
I just got
with blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries.
Raspberries.
Yeah. It says,
Yeah.
Let's get it on. It's an evening with Berry White.
I like it.
Yeah. So I love the black can. I'm sorry. We'll figure out where it's from. We'll look that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just got diagnosed with old myself, man. So I got like readers.
You got
now.
the OLD?
Yeah, I got the readers now. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy because I kept like looking at like all these like menus. I'd be at a restaurant, it'd be like dark, and I'd be like looking at the menu, and I'm like squinting, and I'm like, why they got the lights down so low in here? These kids and these newfangled like fads and whatnot. And like my one friend was like, I think you need glasses. And I was like, fuck you mean I ain't never need glasses in my life. You stupid. And then my son, he got glasses and his was lying around, and I happened to just like put them on, and I was like, oh shit. Like what? Yeah, man. So like I went down and like went and got my shit tested. This one or this one. This one or this one. This one or that. And I'm like, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, I got diagnosed with readers. But the issue is that I don't know how to carry them. Like I don't have a lifestyle that's conducive to carrying like glasses. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know.
That's
so,
why I
like,
switched to the what do they call it? The progressive or whatever. So I don't have to take them on and off all the time.
No, do not get the bifocal bullshit. You ain't got to carry them things, son. It'll be fine.
Nigel just hands it to other people.
Or you got a flashlight on your phone. Or
that's what I be doing. I mean, I'm like, I feel it.
Or get under a light. Just get under a light, dude. Do not carry those.
You're gonna be at your phone just hitting magnify.
I didn't realize that because like I was just pulling my light out at places or whatever, this, that, and the other. And then like once I got diagnosed and I started talking to other people about it, they're like, yeah, you know, I got to pull the old people light out and like throw it on and da da da. I was like, oh shit. So I've been old for a while now and I ain't even know it. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. But yeah, I haven't carried them around yet. But I mean, at some point I feel like it's going to have to happen, man. Like especially at some point I'm going to be around some shit that it ain't going to happen, man. I don't know.
Yeah. I take my chances. I got them at the brewery and I got them at the house. We got them here. So one of my newbies who's coming to Burn and Flow this year, shout out to my boy Chris. He wears regular glasses, but also has readers. So his readers live on top of his head at all times.
So I don't wait. So
yeah, I don't get it.
Like you need two types of glasses?
Well, he can't see far, but he can't see close because he's old. So he needs both. So he should have.
He just can't see. Is he blind? Is that what like?
Yes,
you can't see far or close. Those are the only two types of seeing. Like what can he see?
4.7 feet away from him. It's perfect.
Yeah, like, he's got that mid range. That's wild. Wow.
Trust me.
No treble, no bass. Like
I will make sure we have.
Look, we're taking average white guy to an extreme.
Look, I will make sure we have this conversation at Barrel and Flow because I was like, this is the guy I was telling you about. He's obvious. He's got them shits on his head. I'm like, come on, Chris, bro.
That's wild.
But I gotta know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. So I had to get glasses at 40. I got 50 coming right Barrel and Flow week. So now I'm worried. I've been over to pick up a laundry basket the other day and it hurt.
Yeah, no, man. Yo, like when my back started hurting from sleeping, like you ever get a sleep injury? Like that was what, yeah, I mean, that's when I realized it, like I was very old, yeah, I mean, like, and like, yeah.
Yeah. Nigel's, we're talking about old. Nigel's phone died.
No, that's a young trait, man. You know how many times I gotta yell at my kids for leaving the house with a 2% battery, and I'm like, hey yo, like what?
Oh, jeez.
I got the old iPhone, son.
My kid's 18 all the time, and he is on that phone all the time.
I got the old
I'm
iPhone.
like, yo, you leaving the house, you got 2% battery, you ain't got no money in your pocket. Like,
You got a
what's
different
gonna
charger
happen
than
if your shit die?
He gave me he got a new fangled iPhone. My shit's old.
Yes, I do.
Wiener,
Chicken demon.
my man.
We got it all, Nigel, here at the Nick Parker vault of everything. I love the boat idea, Day. That sounds like that I think makes me sad. That makes me really sad about not being there.
Dude,
Yeah,
when
I
you
mean,
said that, now you explained it. I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously?
yeah, I mean, it's a testament to the festival, right? Like, and the community of people, because so much of the festival is not my idea. Most of the festival ain't my idea. Like, I don't come up with the beers, the music, the food. Like, I mean, we had a barber. I don't know if y'all saw that mobile salon. It was a box truck,
Yeah.
Yep.
and she was like cutting hair in the mobile salon and whatnot. We had a smash room that was out there and whatnot, and like glass blowing and like all these different things that like are happening at the festival. And people go, man, how do you do it? I just steal ideas. What do you mean, how do I do it? People just coming to me and they're like, yo, you know what you should do? You should do this. And like, my job at this point is to basically like take on ideas and figure out whether it's affordable or legal. You know what I mean? Like,
And or.
like that's,
And or.
yeah, and or like one of the, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't got to be the most illegal. Like, is it illegal? Is it legal enough? Like, you know what I
Is it
mean? Like, you know,
legal-ish?
what are we, yeah, like, what are we talking about here, right? Like, you know, we do a lot of flying under the radar, you know what I mean? But that's just, you know, that's business, right? But, yeah, I mean, like, you know, all these ideas that come up, like, I'm also surprised. Like, I shit you not, when I walk around the festival, I'm surprised at some of the shit that I see that's there. And I'm like, yo, where did that come from? Whose idea was that? You know what I mean? So, you know, same thing with Barrel and Float. It was not my idea. Like, you know what I mean? I had two different people come up to me and say the same thing. And wildly enough, they both said Barrel and Float. And I was just like, man, you know, and it was like, you know, when you hear different ideas keep coming at you and this, that, and the other, whatever, like, you're stupid not to implement them. And like, this is just a platform for other people to grow and do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't the Dave Bracey thinks he has a good idea festival. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that was the first year.
That's the
After that, it was just like, you know, after that first year, people were like, all right, cool. This is what we doing next. And I just be like, all right. Like, you know what I
that's
mean?
the Dave Bracey R&D department. Rob and duplicate.
Yeah. 100%. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, I like I said, I'm so fortunate to be a part of such a creative community that like even wants to lend their talents and ideas to this platform. You know what I mean? So yeah, Barrel and Float, I'm excited about it as well, because I ain't never been on a boat like this full of like just all you could drink, and like with the Barrel and Flow crowd, and like the Barrel and Flow events, they're just like different events. Because like you're talking about arts, entertainment, food, and beverage. Like, these are the professionals that are there. right? Like these are the people that people go to pay to see party. Like, you know what I mean? Like people pay to go to restaurants, people pay to go to concerts. Barrel and Flow is where, like, these people, these service folks, the artists and the food and bev folks, they're paying to come and have a good time. So it's like a partier's party type situation,
Right.
man. Like it's such a unique vibe, man. So I'm excited.
It's hard to explain sometimes. Like we try to talk about the glory that is Friday night's bottle share, but you really cannot describe it until you get there.
I've been trying to sell this fucking bottle share for years, and I still have not been able to do that shit. I mean, people talk about like, oh, I hear about that and da 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 da, but like, people don't show up. Like, now, the people that do show up, they have the time of their lives, and we do. But like, for me, I look at Pittsburgh, right? So there might be like 300 people in that building, in that room. There might be like 25 to 50 people from Pittsburgh, max. You know what I mean? And it's like, and like, that's cool. You get to see all these and the other. But I also feel like, one, Pittsburgh should be able to experience it. And then two, people from out of town should be able to experience Pittsburgh. Like people from, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
The brewers that are there, the artists and whatnot. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's wild. I feel like the thing about me, like, I think the thing about this festival is that, like, it's one of those things that if I talk about it too much, it sounds oversold or it sounds too good to be true, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so like the more I talk about it and the more I hype it up, the less people are likely, because they think I'm hyping it up because like I need people to come in there, like I need it to be cool. Yeah, I mean, it's like, fam, I'm trying to do you a favor. Yeah, I mean, like, and also just try to round it out a little bit and say, hey, man, like, I started this festival because Pittsburgh needed this festival. We don't have large scale Black celebrations in the city. Yeah, I mean, when we started it, now we got Juneteenth. Yeah, I mean, we've got this other event, Slappers and Bangers, and we got like a jazz festival that happens, but none of those are at the same like capacity and scale and like bring in international crowds and have attention the same way that Barrel and Flow does. So like sometimes I feel like I'm doing Pittsburgh a disservice, and what I really should say is Pittsburgh is doing itself a disservice by not attending some of these other events. I mean, up until last year, most of the people that went to that festival weren't from Pittsburgh. When you walked around, yeah, I mean, like the Saturday, you talking to folks, they were from Kansas, they were from Atlanta, they were from Guam, they were from LA or whatever.
Right.
Oklahoma. Yeah, I mean, there weren't a lot of like Pittsburgh folks at that event and whatnot. And like the more I tried to hype it up to Pittsburgh, I feel like the less likely they were to show up and whatnot. And I mean, so I don't know, man. Like I'm like I always have a great time. Everybody always has a great time. But at the end of it, I always feel like, man, I wish there was a couple more Pittsburgh folks to kind of like experience this and get that kind of same feel that like everybody else, like that y'all get. Like, where is it? Like for me, it's the best. For me, it's the best event in the weekend. You know what I mean? Like I love the fest.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important for us, like on our end, to go see Pittsburgh. We stay that extra day. The Monday walkabout is important, or is it Sunday? What do we do? Sunday walkabout.
We just go mess around.
Definitely Sunday.
Yeah, we just go mess around.
I'm sorry.
What are you
wrong?
doing?
Wrong one. So, fun fact. I know I'm not on camera right now. I got some folks who they came last year, and they love Pittsburgh so much. They're getting to Pittsburgh on Thursday and staying till Wednesday because they want to experience Pittsburgh.
Wow.
They were like, we haven't been in another city. I'm like,
And oddly enough, they are not repeating Friday night bottle share.
Oh, they're doing fest.
They're doing fest. They're doing all the other things, but they're like, we're just going to go out on Friday night, see what Pittsburgh on Friday night's like.
Yeah. No, I mean that's super cool. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what like I was hoping, with Barrel and Flow. Like I said, as a comedian, I toured the country, and I was like, people were like, man, if you want to make it, you got to leave Pittsburgh. And I was like, have you seen the cost of living here? Like, this shit is amazing. I was like, and we have these beautiful hills and bridges, and like, you can come here and with $500 and live like a king for the weekend. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like $500 is a night in LA. You know what I mean? So like
Couple of hours.
yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, so, I like it and that's why we started Barrel and Flow Week. And that's why we expanded these different events or whatever, because I kept telling people, I was like, if you just come to Pittsburgh for Barrel and Flow, you're eventually going to stop coming to Barrel and Flow. But if you come to Barrel and Flow because Pittsburgh is a cool town, then you'll keep coming to Barrel and Flow. You know what I mean? Like, because, if I say I'm doing an event in LA, people are like, all right, cool. I like LA. They're going to go out to LA. You know what I mean? New York. You say these probably to Chicago, right? Atlanta. Those are cool places. It's not hard to go out to those places. You know what I mean? To go to an event. You know what I mean? But if you hate Pittsburgh, but you like that little bit of what it is, a Barrel and Flow or whatever, you're going to stop coming eventually. You know what I mean? And that's what, like, so it warms my heart whenever people talk about Pittsburgh outside of Barrel and Flow experience. You know what I mean? Like,
it's I tell people it's super undercover. And the beer scene, I got a story for you, brother, man. So
sneaky good beer scene.
So I got one of my regulars. She was in the Pittsburgh area for her son's wedding. She brought me back some beer. Braddock's from Brew Gentlemen, brother. I said, my boy's from Braddock. What you talking about?
From the B-Dot, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I was like, wow. Fucking full circle right there. I'm telling you so much. It's so great. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh man, that warms my heart, man.
Yeah, bro. She was like, yeah, Pittsburgh. It was her first time there. She's like, oh my God, it's so amazing. I'm like, hey, super undercover town.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of years it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, we were like the steel mills closed. Right. We were hemorrhaging talent and youth for years. But over the last 10 years, there's been a lot of influx and a lot of good ideas and different things popping up and whatnot. And, when I started this festival, I did because I was like, I feel like I was on my way out before I started comedy, but then I saw the opportunities within comedy in a mid-market city and whatnot, and me being able to grow my brand. But even then, I still had eyes outside of the city and whatnot. And when I started the festival, it was because I had been doing this podcast for years and just discovering all the cool shit that was happening. And I was just like, what? Not only do people from outside of Pittsburgh don't know about it, but Pittsburgh don't know about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those cities that, like, it's a blue collar town. So if it's not the Pirates, the Penguins, or the Steelers, they don't know shit about it. You know what I mean? Right. So, like a lot of what we do, what I've been doing and Drinking Partners and Barrel and Flow and everything else or whatever has been introducing, even with Ed and Dan the Berg. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like it's introducing Pittsburgh to Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like, because it's one of those cities, it's on the low. Like, there's not a lot of flashing signs and neon, this, that, and the other to let you know what's happening. And it's crazy for me. I've lived here my whole life. And over the last 3 years, like, I would say at least once a week, I'm walking into a new fucking establishment that I've driven past my whole life. Yeah. And didn't know that it shit existed until you walk in and you're like, the fuck? This been here the whole time? Like, I mean, like,
that's your show. When I'm watching the show and I'm like, oh shit, these little boroughs and shit. I had no idea. And even it was new to you and you've been there the whole fucking time.
The whole fucking time, I was just like walking around like, yo, what the fuck? Because like, it's such it's a city of bridges, but that means that people don't cross bridges. Like, they stay in their little, you know what I mean, or whatever. And like all these places that I go to and I'm introduced to, everybody there knows about it. That's their spot. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you live across the bridge, you don't know about that shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Weird. And yeah, man, it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, they say it's a bunch of little towns pieced together. Yes. To to make it. That's what I mean. They all have their own little vibes. They all have their own little things and whatnot. And like I said, I mean, like, it's just, you would never know driving past a lot of these, very unassuming. No, like, I mean, some of these places they don't even have signs. And it's like, do you want business? I mean?
It just says restaurant.
Yeah, right. Like, shit, sometimes I don't even say that shit, man. It's just like a side door that you gotta, like, You gotta know. You gotta knock 3 times and like, you know what I mean, and burp, and they'll be like, okay, you one of us.
Well,
like
it's like last year when we did the Helicon Brewing. I know it's not proper Pittsburgh, but we went to fucking whatever little town that is. How's that brewery even there?
Yeah.
It's so random.
Random. You drive down this valley and then bam, brewery.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that those breweries is kind of like Germany, right? Yeah, I mean, and this is a very German, Polish, Irish town. But like, every little town has their own brewery.
Their own shit.
And it's sustained by that little town. So like, yeah, I mean, Helicon doesn't need anybody to cross the bridge because they built their model off of this, this section of Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And shout out to the folks that do that, because clearly they found a model that works and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it is hard as a visitor to really get some of the best things that's happening in the city, because it really is one of those, if you know, you know.
Well, I did. It's funny, when we were at Helicon, the thing that cracked me up, they opened at 11 a.m. There was some retired dudes in playing pinball and shit.
Well, they had like 90 different pinball machines.
Yeah, that was fucking epic. And then we're sitting there talking to these other folks who are like just travelers hitting breweries. Well, you know where they were from, Day? They were from fucking Kansas.
And she knew my uncle.
And she knew Nick's uncle.
Wow. Wow. That's fucking
I was
crazy.
Like, can't go anywhere. It's fucking 6 degrees separation, man. It's fucking wild. Fucking wild.
Well, shout out to y'all for keeping the podcast going, because we officially silently ended the Drinking Partners podcast last year after 10 years. Yeah, I mean, so we definitely need somebody, to come out, to carry, carry the torch and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just be funny and introduce people to new shit, man. So yeah, I mad respect to what y'all doing and keeping that going, man, because it's not easy. You know what I mean?
No, we just.
Well, we appreciate it, because you and Ed are pretty much why we're doing it.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason. Here, let's keep it real for those who don't know. And look, hey, nothing wrong with going back and listening to some Drinking Partners podcasts, because it's good stories. It's good stories. Again, we laugh because I remember the first time you guys came on here, we got off. We made some comedians laugh.
I was really retired.
Done. Get out of here.
Mission accomplished.
Bloody hell. Well, dude, it's always a pleasure to have you on, man. Always a fucking pleasure. We'll see you in just a couple of weeks, man.
Well, damn, I'm gonna miss it, Dave. But good luck. I hope it's a great festival. I'll be there in spirit.
Yeah,
I'll white folks instead of Nick.
Yeah, I'll be sure to get you a couple of these collabs and whatnot. And for the folks at home that don't know, yeah, I mean, my niece designed this label. I'm very excited about it and proud of that.
Go a little closer on the camera. Let's see that.
So, original artwork and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, so all of New France's artwork is hand painted. So this is her artwork and whatnot. And this is my birthday collaboration.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, so New France Brewing. And then, we got some black-owned honey for the mead.
Heard.
That was in there. We have black-owned coffee in there as well. We got a little bit of vanilla coming in at a 9.3%.
Oh.
And it's nom de guerre.
You have to tell them if you share, right? Because it's under 9.5.
No, you have to tell them.
I thought it was 9.
You have to tell them, exactly. That's why I made sure to let people know that's a 9, because that's the rule. Anything over 9, you gotta let them know.
Oh, over 9.
I mean,
okay.
And anything above 9, and it drinks like a 7. So it's mad deceptive. Yeah. Like you'll be like, all right, cool, and it's like, no, that's 9.3, fam, and you'll be like, huh? You know what I mean? So
I like the ones.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a sleeper and whatnot. And Tom actually was the guy that gave us our first commercial collaboration, the Hundo. I mean, our 100th episode of Drinking Partners was the Hundo. That was back when he was working with Full Pint, and he opened up his own brewery, New France. He actually runs all of our beer for the festival. He's our head of collabs. And he was like, yeah, as soon as I open up a brewery, we're going to brew a beer together, and we're going to call it Nom de Guerre. because Dave Bracey is your war name. And I was like, cool. You know what I mean?
Yes. You need that on a shirt.
Yeah.
You need that on a shirt.
Yeah. It's your face, son.
Yeah. And
Do
then
that on an
that's
album cover.
And my
you
niece, Dejana Gal there on the art
you
label
go.
and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Is
So
that your niece we met when you picked us up last year?
yeah.
When he was all driving like he was out of Baby Driver.
Yeah. He still tell that story. I said, this motherfucker went. I said, they were like, how fast you drive? I said, anywhere from 30 to about 110. We would never forget that goddamn trip.
I mean, between I rode with you and I rode with Bulletproof. I had myself a hell of a year driving in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I feel like somehow you have a better chance of surviving with me, man, because Bulletproof.
Yes.
Yeah.
She acts like she bulletproof.
That's true.
I'm riding with you, sir. I love her, but goddamn it, man.
True.
One was scarier than the other. I will say that.
They tell people where to follow you, man.
Oh man. So at this point, man, you know what? barrelandflow.com. You know what I mean? And with Dave Bracey, I'm at Dave Bracey, we at Barrel and Flow. And yeah, man, check us out. barrelandflow.com/events if you're looking for anything that's happening throughout that week. But if you look at our Barrel and Flow page, on the social medias and whatnot, we do this year round. I mean, it's not just a one-time event. We're constantly resource coordinating. We're always trying to plug people into various opportunities and whatnot. And if you have any ideas and you want to be a part of the festival, the time to ask us is like between August and, say like maybe like April, man. Don't be hitting me up. Like motherfuckers hit me up like right now. Hey, I'm gonna pick up my phone. Motherfuckers like, hey, yo, I'm trying to get in the festival. This, that, the other. Like, nigga, this is 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks. We ain't got no room for that shit. September is good. Let's have that conversation in September.
Yeah,
Shit, January. You know what I mean? Like, don't be hitting me up.
Dave's in the bunker command center right now.
Yeah, I mean, like it's wild. I mean, but also, and I'm gonna let y'all know, and I ain't gonna let anybody else know. Y'all keep this on the low. April 2026, April 19th, 2026.
Okay.
Barrels on the Bayou.
Oh,
New Orleans.
Yes.
Save the dates.
Yes.
You know what?
I can't give
about somebody's birthday.
That's right after my birthday.
I ain't gonna give y'all too much, beyond that, but I finally got it to a point where it's official, it's happening by hella high water, and April 19th, 2026,
hell
Barrels on the Bayou.
I might hit up Jonathan. I need to come get a job down there.
Who knows? We're moving the whole operation.
Fuck yes. Look, you can send me to New Orleans anytime you want. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
where can you find us, man?
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, all them places you like to go. I think we're on the socials.
Yeah, we're on the FBs.
Yeah, FBs
and the Facebook.
And the Instagrams.
Nigel. Beers with Nigel, Facebook. Beers with Nigel. Insta. The Insta's popping right now. Just gonna call it.
We gave up on that other thing.
Shout out to whoever sent me beer today from St. Louis. I got a box of beer and it was addressed somebody's Instagram @ that was the return address, and it didn't have my full name. It's just Nigel. I can't make this up.
That's awesome.
Beer karma is real.
Day, I'm sad I can't make it, man, but have yourself one hell of a festival. It's the best damn beer festival in America.
Oh, and I appreciate you for saying that.
Yes,
and I do want to get back out to Kansas City here next year and whatnot, if not later this year, because it is just it's a cool city, and I can afford to go there. So that's cool too.
Get here.
Anytime, man.
Yep. Did we do this? I know the StreamYard's different. You gotta do anything? You gotta stay on?
I'm gonna play this.
You've been listening to Beers with Nigel, a show about beer and other stuff, hosted by Nigel Woodbury and that other guy, Nick Parker. Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, providing bumper-to-bumper graphic design, promo products, and print services. Find them at direoil.com. Beers with Nigel is a proud member of the Fredcast Network and is available on all of your favorite podcast flavors. Find Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and ask Alexa to play the Beers with Nigel podcast.